Hey, what's up guys, Haas here. So I wanted to talk about the Republican National Convention, which in my eyes is a complete and utter show. It's a kangaroo court of sorts. There's absolutely no honor in the Republican Party, period. None. And I find it interesting that those who say that they're common sensors and stuff, and folks that talk about Republican ideals and conservative ideals, are not talking about what's really going on at the Republican National Convention. Now, in reality, Ron Paul was probably not going to win the nomination. He wasn't. But what did they do to Ron Paul there? You should look into it if you haven't, because they tried to change the rules on Ron Paul as far as his name being available on the ballot or the thing there, by changing the number of states required for his name to show up, which failed, and then they ultimately disqualified basically the states that voted, that went Ron Paul's way. So they, in effect, it would be like, I was actually just watching Drinking with Bob, so I'm not going to pretend like this is my idea, but he was saying that it would be equivalent to Obama losing the election in November and then signing an executive order saying that none of the votes count from the states that he lost. And that's exactly what it is, except that Obama's not going to win, and Ron Paul wasn't going to win. Mitt Romney was going to win the Republican National Convention. That's the difference. But not only that, but the TSA was sicked on Ron Paul and his family and harassed them until I think some of the staffers started basically causing a ruckus. And it's funny to me that these folks on YouTube who are covering the Republican National Convention, the guys who say they're conservatives, are not covering these things, because to me that's news. That's the news. Not Chris Christie, not Rick Santorum, not anyone else who's giving these bullshit speeches. Which is, it's funny that we talk about how all politicians are full of crap, and how, no one ever does what they say they're going to do, and everybody's just full of crap, and they're all out there discussing what these politicians are saying like it really matters, because it doesn't in reality. And instead of talking about these things, these people are criticizing Ron Paul even more, even while he's being marginalized and pushed to the side. Why? Because Ron Paul's ideas are dangerous to the establishment, and his followers that's a bad term, liberty-loving people in this country will not be put off by the marginalization of Ron Paul. They'll only be further driven to reestablish liberty in this nation, to reestablish individual liberty and freedom. And there's a serious disconnect in people who are in politics, who are politically active, watching the politics and all that, who are not criticizing the establishment, who are not saying that they are dishonorable. They are. And I have no problem saying right here onto the internet, to the power of the internet here, out to the public, that these politicians are dishonorable. And it doesn't make me coward or something, because I'm not saying it behind their backs. I'm saying it directly to their face. I would say it to them if they were here. I'm saying it now in a public forum on my the public section of my private page here. That they are dishonorable. And until people are willing to stand up and say that, until people are willing to stand up and say, Chris Christie, you're full of shit. You don't have any plans for America, as he calls it. Not the United States of America. And that's that's a whole nother video, but it's the use of terms. Oh, Chris Christie. American exceptionalism, that's what we need, isn't it? We got to be number one in the world. Screw number one. I'll take individual liberty over number one any day of the week.